Why some people say they're not surprised something like this happened in their neighborhood.
A family who attended Muertos Fest in San Antonio for the past 10 years, seeing others remember loved ones who have passed away, now honoring one of their family members, how they're keeping memories alive.
Boy, it sure feels good outside, but we've already got our eyes set on when we could see rain next in San Antonio. I'll have those details for when storms are most likely around the Alamo City coming up.
Live from KSAT 12, the news at noon starts right now.
A man involved in a deadly crash overnight accused of driving while intoxicated and speeding.
His passenger killed when his car slammed into a pole on West Commerce near Northwest 36th Street. Katrina Weber tells us why some neighbors say they saw this trouble coming.
Try as he might, this is one test this driver could not pass, according to San Antonio police. They say it showed the 27-year-old was intoxicated when he got behind the wheel, then plowed into a utility pole in the 5600 block of West Commerce, killing his passenger.
And according to a witness, this vehicle was coming down 36th Street to make a left on Commerce and coming really fast.
Police agree with what Joe Reyes says he was told, that the driver also was speeding at the time. Reyes somehow slept through the loud crash shortly after midnight, but he woke up to the later commotion.
I seen the flashing lights through the window and I was wondering what it was. There, and the car was pretty much just cut right in half.
After the crash, police say the driver had gotten out of the car and tried to run away, but they caught him nearby. The passenger, meanwhile, was pinned inside the car. Firefighters had to cut it open to get him out. 26-year-old Joe Angel Palacios was taken to a hospital where he died. The crash left the pole snapped in two. Crews spent hours making repairs and replacing it.
Right, well, it's not the first time someone hits that pole. It's the second time in about a year and a half.
Reyes says with the way people drive on this busy street, it was just a matter of time before this happened. In this case, the driver will face serious charges. Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
New at noon, a local woman accused of stealing more than $185,000 from a local business, all while she was working as their bookkeeper. Chavano Park police say 49-year-old Daniela Zunica Vasquez charged with money laundering. Police tell us that she was working for Bel Air Homes when the company conducted a financial audit. It found Vasquez had been voiding, altering, and reissuing checks into her own bank account. Police say that she altered the checks by using a PDF editor. Investigators said she also conducted fraudulent transactions with Geico Insurance and Bexar County Justice of the Peace.
The family of Eric Cantu continues their emotional plea for justice. The family says they hope the charges against the officer who shot their son will be upgraded.
This man's out walking around. Guess where my son's at? Laying with a tracheotomy in his throat.
We'd like to see the charges raised to attempted murder for 2 accounts and other charges made to any officers that were involved in the brutality during the arrest as well.
James Brennan was fired from the San Antonio Police Department. He was charged with 2 counts of aggravated assault by a public official. SAPD says it submitted its case to the Bexar County District Attorney's Office. DA Joe Gonzalez plans to send the case to the grand jury. A hearing has been set for November 23rd.
One person in the hospital after a drive-by shooting on the city's east side. This happened around 11:30 last night in the 4900 block of Creekmore Drive. San Antonio police say a woman in her teens was hospitalized with a gunshot wound to her ankle. Officers did not clarify her age. Police say she was inside her home when someone in a blue vehicle drove by. Then someone inside that car started firing shots. The woman, though, is expected to be okay.
A fire that destroyed a home in Von Army is under investigation because it may have been set on purpose. The fire started around 11 last night on Rockport Road. The Bexar County Fire and Lytle Fire Department say they could see flames shooting out of the home. BCSO was told a man staying at the house may have started the fire intentionally. Family members told fire officials he started fires twice before. That man has been arrested.
Dia de los Muertos is right around the corner, and many who honor the centuries-old tradition are now making preparations to greet their guests, souls who are already embarking on their journey into this dimension.
Our Jonathan Cotto spoke with a woman whose grandmother was a dedicated practitioner and is now building an altar to her memory.
Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is more than just an annual holiday for Karina Gil. It's a family tradition with a spiritual connection.
The Altar de Muertos for us is something very symbolic. It's more of a celebration of life. It's something that we remember the ones that they're gone.
Her abuelita, Ala Marchapa, passed away on June 15th at 98 years old.
She was almost 99, a few months short. She was very traditional in honoring our ancestors. Maybe because of the age that she wanted to have her altar. She wanted to, just the way someone else made her day at Dia de los Muertos by building an altar.
She attended every Muertos Fest for the last 10 years.
Now I think it's my time to build that altar.
Gil has been hard at work constructing her altar for the past 3 months.
It's a lot of work, a lot of dedication. I come from work and probably like every single day I spend like 5 hours. Just every single day, every single night, drawing it, painting it, redesigning.
Each altar is unique in its design, but all must have the ofrenda as its central component that has key elements needed for the soul's journey.
It's gonna have the salt, which represent purification of the soul. It's gonna have the mirror for them to see themselves, and it's kind of like a way for them to remember that they're not here any longer and that they have to return back to where they're coming from. There's also water to kind of like quench like their thirst when they come over.
For Ala Marchapa, Dia de los Muertos was about familia, honoring traditions and keeping memories alive.
By me making this altar, I really hope that there's a kid, a family that they will go and see an altar and that they will remember their roots, where they're coming from, their culture, and above all, the family.
Jonathan Corto, KSAT 12 News.
Some beautiful thoughts there. Muertos Festival is kicking off on Saturday. It's October 29th at Hemisphere, and it is free to attend. You can scan the QR code you see on your screen right now for more information, including a map of the event.
And if you aren't able to visit in person this weekend, you can watch our prime time special. It airs on Sunday, 8 o'clock, right here on KSAT 12, KSAT.com, and in sports.
A San Antonio mom able to turn an idea into a business, thanks in part to a local program, how she was able to take steps toward success. A simple idea that a local mother used to help her daughter has now evolved into a full-fledged business, thanks in part to San Antonio Startup Week.
Max Massey introduces us to Julia Bates, her local startup called Mellow Bee, and her idea that can help anyone who uses it.
All right, take a look. We're here at Geekdom, and we're talking about the company Mellow Bee. Now we're joined here with the CEO and founder, Julia. So, Julia, tell us how the company got started.
I decided that I needed something better to meditate with because my sciatic nerve was really bothering me. My daughter at the time was going through a pretty serious illness, and she just needed help with her posture and comfort while sitting in meditation. I just started like hacking different cushions and figured something out, and that was that. You know, it's just really for us.
Meditation, mental health, calming has been so integral over, obviously, not only the last 5 years, but through the pandemic. You know, why is it so important to you? Why is it so important here at Geekdom?
Well, mindfulness is really a way of life. It's how we live in this moment. The only time you can actually live your life is right now. So everything from before was the past, and everything, you know, ahead of us is the future, and we have no control really over either one of those things, but we do have control over this moment right now. So that's really what I teach. It's just mindfulness is just a way of life and how we live it.
You got started during San Antonio Startup Week.
Yes.
What is your advice for any future entrepreneurs?
Well, just because you have an idea doesn't mean that it's just something that you want, that you need. A lot of times, a lot of other people need what your idea is. So just don't be afraid and put it out there, and just ask other people to try it and see what they like.
All right, Julia, thank you so much for your time. If you guys have any questions about Julia's story or Mellow Bee, we have all those answers. Just head to KSAT.com. Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Taking a look outside with live cam, just so pretty, really pretty. And some of us still kind of bouncing around in mud where we got rain. But more on the way.
Oh, yeah. Up north, there was a bit of rain for Comal County a couple of evenings ago. But, you know, here in San Antonio, for a large part of San Antonio, especially the western and central parts, it was pretty dry. The aquifer has actually gone down 0.2 of a foot over the past 24 hours. In the pollen count, we've got one allergen, it's molds, and molds are down from yesterday. They are low. What I want to do, though, is I want to take a look outside. It's a beautiful start to the afternoon. It's 70 degrees with low humidity and east winds at about 10 miles per hour. So coming up in the forecast, we're going to talk about a few things. Of course, today pleasant with low humidity, but tomorrow just a bit warmer. And then finally, we've got our set sight on Friday morning. That's when we'll get our next cold front and a potential for a stormy start. Those details coming up.
So you're saying you saw some puddles. What'd they look like?
Downright puddles. It was kind of shocking.
I'm assuming you got some good rain on Monday night there.
I was very, very lucky, and I know that in San Antonio it wasn't quite like that.
No. Totally, we got about 0.03 of an inch of rainfall.
But we have some perhaps coming.
We do, Ursula and David. We have a better chance for rain for most of San Antonio Friday morning. That, of course, comes with its own complications. We're thinking about the morning commute this far out on Friday. But first, let's just savor the beautiful weather out there today. This was a look at this morning's lows. We got down to 47 in San Antonio. That's 10 degrees below the average of 57. It even was 37 in Bernie, 36 in Kerrville. So nice and chilly out there early this morning. Although I will say that this morning's low is going to be the coolest will be in the mornings over the next several days. We'll have mornings in the 50s and 60s over the next few days. Again, this was the coolest we will be, and looking ahead, we will have a front on Friday. It's just not going to be dropping temperatures all that much, although that front is what's going to be bringing us a chance for rain on Friday morning. Outside right now, we've steadily warmed up. It's already 70 degrees out there. You can see that this is also a look at the satellite of the clouds, and not much out there right now other than a few clouds rather in Webb County down near Laredo. It's 72 in Hondo, 71 in New Braunfels, 72 in Gonzales, 70 in Spofford, 66 in Rock Springs. Still in the 60s in Bulverde at 69 degrees, 67 in Canyon Lake area. Pleasanton, you're at 73 this afternoon, and Devine is at 75. In your KSAT 12-hour forecast this afternoon, we will top off right near 79 degrees. Winds will be from the east-southeast at about 10 miles per hour, so a touch of a breeze. And then once we see the sunset close to 7, it's going to get pretty cool tonight. We'll look at temperatures falling into the low 60s by midnight, calming winds, and we should have another cool morning tomorrow, just not quite as chilly as it was this morning. Now, as we look at the weather setup, we've got a couple of systems here to talk about. This is a pretty typical fall forecast for us this time of year. We have one cold front to our east, which is exiting. That's the one that brought us some rain Monday night. And then another cold front setting up to our west, bringing snowfall across the Rockies. This is the front that's expected to move through on Friday morning. So as I take you through the future cast here, a few things to note. Tomorrow is going to be a quiet day. Most of us will start off near 50 degrees early tomorrow morning with mostly sunny to completely sunny skies. And then in the afternoon, we're actually going to see some clouds increase as we get winds from the southeast. So by tomorrow afternoon, we could have mostly cloudy skies, 81 for the high. It'll be a bit breezy and warm. And then by Friday morning, that's when that front is going to move through. We could start to see some showers as early as about midnight Thursday into Friday, but a line of thunderstorms should develop right along that front early Friday morning. This is a snapshot at 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday, right before the rush hour. And then potentially during the rush hour, we could have a damp morning commute in some spots. Coverage should be a little bit greater than it was on Monday night. So we're going for about a 60% coverage of showers and storms early Friday morning. Then, much like the last rain event, those showers and storms are going to race east, and we'll actually have clearing skies and pretty windy conditions behind that front. front on Friday. We'll be looking at clearing skies too on Friday after that. So here's what to plan for Friday morning. A damp morning commute, rainfall, not a ton, up to maybe half an inch of rain in some places. It'll be clearing and windy Friday afternoon. Something we'll be watching for on Friday morning when that front moves through is damaging wind gusts possible along that front. We'll be watching for it. That's not a guarantee, but something we'll be keeping our eyes on. Otherwise, a cool start tomorrow morning and a comfortable afternoon with those increasing clouds. Then that chance for storms early Friday morning. Highs behind the front will only be in the 70s. Looks pretty great for Halloween weekend if you have any Halloween party plans over the weekend. And for Halloween itself, 80 degrees for the high. Not too bad when the kids are trick-or-treating, likely going to be in the 70s. You know, guys, it's been a really bad year for rainfall. We're going to take a look at the rainfall deficit and how this year so far is record dry out there. Ursula and David.
More tricks than treats in that department, for sure.
Speaking of deficits, the Spurs are not in a deficit when it comes to wins like a lot of people thought they might be.
It's crazy. They're 3-1, whereas the Golden State Warriors are 2-2 right now. So the Spurs have the better record. And you know what? I'll tell you what, they're motivated by all this tanking talk. Coming up, Dominic Barlow will explain that's exactly the reason why. Plus, Devin Vassell, well, he is out tonight against the T-Wolves. We'll tell you why coming up.
Business as usual from day one when we started preseason, playoff mentality, and now playoffs are here. We're all excited, and it's going to be a good game. So we're preparing like we always have.
Mitchell Tainer and San Antonio FC are getting ready to host the Oakland Roots Soccer Club in Big Board Sports. Winners of 3 in a row, the Spurs will close out their 4-game road trip tonight at the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Silver and Black beat the T-Wolves Monday night 115-106. At 3-1, the Spurs are currently 3rd in the Western Conference. Yeah, I know it's very early in the regular season, but still, this is not what some expected from the Spurs this season. Yesterday we caught up with the Austin Spurs, who opened up training camp at the Spurs practice facility, and that's where Dominic Barlow told the media he's not surprised the big club is tanking. Talk.
Yeah, they're hungry. They hear all the noise. They hear everybody going on Instagram. All you see is tank for Victor, tank for Scoot, whatever it is, tank for Amen Thompson. Shout out my boy, Minnesota Thompson. But, I mean, it's just, like, you view that as disrespect. Like, that's kind of like they don't think you can play. So they take that stuff really personally, and I expect them to keep playing well.
Spurs have placed Devin Vassell on their injury report out for tonight. Tonight's rematch with Minnesota because he's suffering from left knee soreness. It was Vassell who led the Spurs to that victory Monday night with 23 points. He's second on the team, averaging 19.8 points per game this season. So here's the matchup. Timberwolves will host the Spurs tonight at 7. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the Austin Spurs facility on the city's northwest side. Joining Spurs draft picks Malachi Branham and Blake Wesley was the newest member of the Spurs, 6'11", 235-pound center Charles Bassey. He played high school basketball in San Antonio for St. Anthony, leading the Yellow Jackets to the TAP State Championship game with a 32-6 record. But questions regarding improper financial support led to him being declared ineligible by the Texas Association of Private and Parochial Schools in 2016. After being drafted by the Philadelphia 76ers in 2021, he's now getting a chance with the Spurs, telling us he used to come to Spurs games when he was in San Antonio.
I love doing a lot of them, when I was a freshman, sophomore, came to games, and I was happy, watch them play, I've been loving it with the organization for a long time, so I'm just glad I'm here.
Austin Spurs will open the regular season Friday, November 4th at home with the Dallas Mavericks affiliate, the Texas Legends. Tip is set for 7:30 p.m. at the H-E-B Center at Cedar Park. After finishing with the best record in the United Soccer League Championship regular season, San Antonio FC got a bye in the first round of the playoffs and will now host Oakland Roots SC in the Western Conference semis Friday night at Toyota Field. But did the bye week help or hurt as far as keeping the momentum going after Oakland was able to defeat San Diego Loyal FC 3-0 in the first round of the postseason?
We trained all week to make sure that we're properly prepared. Again, the focus was on us, and this week the focus is on how do we get a result against Oakland.
Kickoff at Toyota Field on Friday night is set for 7:30.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah, indeed.
All right, Larry, thanks.
Some of the smallest living creatures can have the biggest impact on our planet. Why the fate of bugs and pollinators is much more urgent than people realize.
An unknown scam is now on the rise again. Criminals are stealing mail in an effort to take people's money. But there are steps you can take to keep your finances secure.
Lots of us are trying to eat healthier, and that often includes smoothies. Today on the News at 5, we're going to show you how you can get an added health boost with fall flavors in your daily smoothie.
KSAT 12 presents another Day of the Dead story, Building the Ofrenda.
Ofrenda means offering, and on November 1st, these altars welcome our lost loved ones back to the world of the living. They're built with many pieces and parts, and each has a specific purpose. Flowers symbolize life, and one specific flower has become the symbol of Dia de los Muertos. Marigolds, or cempasúchil, are used to make crucifixes, or the arches of ofrendas. Their bright colors and potent smell are said to attract the souls of the dead, and during Dia de los Muertos, you'll find seas of them in Mexican cemeteries. You can also use them to create a path from the front door to your ofrenda at home.
A drug that is commonly used to treat bacterial infections in children is now in short supply. 3 of the top 4 makers of the antibiotic amoxicillin are reporting supply constraints in the U.S. Amoxicillin, prescribed for many illnesses, including ear and throat infections. It comes in several forms. Children generally take the liquid form of the drug, which is reportedly where most of those shortages are occurring. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says it's working with pharmaceutical companies to fix this problem. Canada and Australia, though, also reporting amoxicillin in short supply. After 4 years in a row of premium declines, affordable health care policies are more costly in 2023. The average monthly premium for the benchmark Silver plan in 2023 will go up by 4% in 33 states that participate in the federal exchange. That's compared to this year's drop of 3%. Despite the bump for 2023, most enrollees won't feel that increase, and that's thanks to enhanced federal subsidies that congressional Democrats were able to act plans today. Open enrollment launches November 1st. It runs through January 15th.
And don't forget that early voting is happening right now. So far, nearly 64,000 people have already voted. If you scan the QR code there on your screen, it'll take you to our website where you'll find resources for you before you cast your vote. That includes polling locations, the hours they're open. Early voting ends next Friday, and November 4th, and then the election day is November 8th.
You are just going to hate this next story. A warning about how thieves are stealing your money. It's called check washing. And some victims have seen their bank accounts just drained, their identities stolen. ABC's Whit Johnson has more on how it all works.
A new warning about check washing, a scam where criminals steal checks from the mail, remove the ink, then forge the info to cash in on your money.
During the last 2 years or so, we witnessing this increase in the amount of stolen mail that we are experiencing here in the United States.
The United States Postal Inspection Service says they recover more than $1 billion in counterfeit checks and money orders every year. And according to the U.S. Treasury Department, this year there's been more than 370,000 reported cases of suspicious check activity, including those linked to check washing, up from 14. 58-year-old Ohio resident Flora Patton, who first spoke with our Toledo affiliate WTVG, says back in August she dropped her mortgage check into a mailbox right in front of her local post office. But just days later, when she tried to pay another bill, she discovered her account was wiped out.
And I opened my account and it was a zero balance. I'm like, oh my God.
She says a call to the credit union confirmed her check, seen here, had been washed.
Everything was changed. The date, my name, everything that I put on the check was totally different. and it was a little over $6,000. It was shocking. It was scary, jaw-dropping.
Luckily, Patton's fraud protection kicked in and she was able to get her money back.
Cashing the check is just the beginning of a way more sophisticated type of crime folks are working on. Once they have your identity, then they can start using it. We are seeing this occurring more and more.
Now, that was ABC's Whit Johnson reporting. There are some things you can do to avoid becoming one of these victims. First, if you're planning on mailing an envelope with a check, take it inside the post office to drop it off.
And second, make sure you pick up your mail frequently and never leave it in the mailbox overnight. And if you do think you're a victim of check washing, make sure you contact your bank right away.
We're going to take a look outside because it's just so pretty. 72 degrees out there. Not a cloud in the sky.
So that brings up the question, should you wash your car or not?
I washed mine yesterday.
Well, that's good. You'll get a few good days out of it, Ursula. But if you're planning on it, I would say wait until after Friday morning, just because there's a chance for rain Friday morning. And boy, do we need rain around San Antonio. Take a look at how much rain we've seen so far this year. It is the driest year to date on record, and records go back all the way to 1886. If you're a frequent KSAT viewer, you know we've been showing you this image for quite some time here. On average, this time of year, we should have 27, almost 28 inches of rain. Yeah, we're well below that by nearly 20 inches. By the way, notice a year that is not on here, 2011. 2011, we had almost 13 inches of rain by this time in 2011. So we are well behind where we need to be. And as we look at rain chances, nothing today, nothing really tomorrow, but overnight Thursday, that's when you could start to see some rain, and especially on Friday morning during the commute. Scattered showers and storms are possible. Coverage should be about 60%. Coming up in the forecast, I'm going to show you the futurecast, time this out, and talk about some of the potential risks we could see when that front moves through early Friday morning. Stick around for that coming up.
Thank you, Sarah. Pretty exciting volleyball season. UIL Phase 1 coming to an end, though, and a wrap-up is coming up in sports with Larry Ramirez.
The world's insects are dying at a rapid rate, and the impact could be widespread. The two biggest factors hurting pollinators.
It's a bug apocalypse between widespread pesticide use and drought. The executive director of the National Butterfly Center in the Rio Grande Valley says our pollinators are dying rapidly, and it's not good.
Sarah Costa spoke with the director of that center, who explains why we do need insects if we want to survive.
If the insects disappear, we won't be far behind.
The director of the National Butterfly Center, Mariana White, says the matter of our bugs and pollinators dying out right now is much more urgent than people realize.
Right now, we are experiencing what scientists call an insect apocalypse.
Over the past few years, several studies have shown that at least 40% of the world's insects are dying at a rapid rate. Some research shows that 90% of certain species have been wiped out.
And what that means for humans is higher temperatures, more terrible floods, worsening air quality, all of the worst aspects of climate change.
So what do bugs have to do with climate change? She explains that our pollinators, especially the butterflies, combat climate change by keeping our vegetation alive.
Butterflies pollinate the majority of all of our grasses, wildflowers, shrubs, and trees. All of those things, that green vegetation, is what keeps our planet cool. It reduces erosion and improves air quality. It filters water and produces clean air.
She says two big factors are hurting our pollinators. One is the severe drought we are experiencing here in South Texas. We saw it firsthand at the center.
And you can see how the drought is impacting right here at the Butterfly Center, usually filled with blooms. A lot of these native plants just trying to survive.
The other factor is pesticide use, especially through wide use in farming.
Pesticides are killing all of the insects because that's what pesticides are designed to do. They are designed to poison bugs. all of them.
Wright says it's urgent we stop using pesticides immediately and combat climate change to help not just keep our pollinators alive, but us as well.
Life on Earth literally depends on pollinators. That's butterflies, bees, birds, bats, and other insects. They also are the basis of the food system for all living things.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
For sure, rain would help the situation a whole lot, wouldn't it?
Oh my goodness. And Sarah was mentioning the drought, and we'll get an updated drought monitor tomorrow, but I want to show you a look at the drought monitor right now. Bullseye around San Antonio. We've got extreme drought with exceptional drought through Canyon Lake, San Marcos, New Braunfels, and Seguin. Now the good news is that the rain Monday fell in that area with exceptional drought. Still, though, we are in desperate need for some rain. The molds are low at 480. That's the pollen count today, but the aquifer is down 0.2 of a foot over the past 24 hours. Now, while it will not help to really alleviate drought in a major way, we do have another shot at rain coming up within the next 48 hours. I'll tell you the details you need to know coming up.
For a good rain Friday morning, might as well enjoy Wednesday and Thursday while we got it, right?
Yeah, with weather like this.
Absolutely. It feels amazing out there, guys. In fact, I'm probably going to go for a walk before the sun goes down because it's just absolutely beautiful out there. And temperatures are only going to top off in the upper 70s this afternoon. So very nice as you're planning the rest of your day. Outside right now, again, blue skies, nothing but blue skies. 70 degrees outside right now. East winds at about 10 miles per hour. We've got dew points are pretty low in the 30s. We'll talk about how those dew points are going to change here in just a bit, but for now, let's take a look at neighborhood temperatures. It's 73 in Uvalde, 75 in Carrizo Springs, 71 in New Braunfels, 72 in Kerrville, 68 in Rock Springs, and 69 in Del Rio. For the rest of the day, again, topping off right around 79 degrees, 4 o'clock. As kids get let out of school, it's going to be really nice. Roll those windows down in the car because it's going to be gorgeous outside. We'll have temperatures falling down pretty quickly after sunset. We'll be near 60 degrees by midnight. Cool, clear skies and low humidity tonight. Speaking of low humidity, dew points are in the 30s. That's at the bottom of our scale. That's very dry. Another term I like to use when dew points are in the 30s is chapstick weather. You need a little extra chapstick. It is very dry outside. But as we look through the next about 12 to 16 hours or so, overnight we're going to see those dew points rise. By tomorrow, dew points are going to be in the 50s, which is still pleasant. Really, it's not until dew points get into the 60s that you start to notice the humidity. But with that being said, dew points in the 50s tomorrow, especially in the morning, mean that our mornings are not going to be as cool. So this morning we were at 47 degrees. Tomorrow morning in San Antonio, we're forecasting low 50s. Now, as we take a look at the nation, we've got a pretty typical weather setup for fall. First of all, here's that front that brought us the windy conditions and cooler weather, and for some rain. It is moving off to the east as we speak. In its wake, we've got high pressure system in place. That's what's giving us these beautiful blue skies. But just a little bit further off to the west, there's our next system that's going to be moving through on Friday morning, bringing us another cold front, windy conditions, and yes, a shot at some rain as well. Taking you through the futurecast, as I mentioned, early tomorrow morning we'll have clear skies, but will not be as chilly as this morning. Still cool, still sweater weather, 53 degrees early tomorrow morning. And then throughout the day tomorrow, we're going to have a steady south wind that's going to increase the humidity. Again, not to unpleasant levels, but noticeable. And we'll be seeing clouds increase too. It should be 81 for the high temperature for your Thursday. Still a very pleasant day tomorrow, which is a little extra cloudiness in the afternoon. Then by early Friday, we're talking right before the morning commute, we'll start to see a broken line of storms set up across the hill country and out west along that front. And then that front is expected to move through close to the morning commute, the busiest part of the morning. So we could feasibly have a damp morning commute. And along that leading edge, we'll be watching for some damaging wind gusts. It's not a given that we'll have severe weather, but it's something that we'll be monitoring. The biggest impact, I think, to everybody is you may have to turn those windshield wipers on a couple of times on your morning commute on Friday. Then behind that front, it's going to get pretty windy. We'll have gusts up to about 35 miles per hour from the north. As far as rainfall goes, again, this is not going to be a massive drought-denting rainfall event for us. But around San Antonio, areas will see about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of rain. Less than that the further west you go, and more rainfall the further north and east you go. In fact, the Dallas-Fort Worth area could see up to 2 inches of rainfall. I wish they would share the wealth a little bit. As we look at our forecast over the next few days, again, pretty pleasant today and tomorrow with shot at storm, 60% coverage early Friday morning, then becoming windy, and temperatures will only top off in the 70s over Halloween weekend. Great for Halloween parties, and for Halloween itself, well, it'll be warm in the afternoon, 80 degrees, but pleasant with low humidity for any kind of trick-or-treating in the evening.
Thanks so much, Sarah.
Some of the rookies are starting to show a little bit of life, getting used to this NBA thing, huh?
Yeah, Jeremy Sohan coming off a career high in the NBA Monday night against the Timberwolves with 14 points, and he showed us in that game that he definitely has some wings. And you know what? He's not surprised at the Spurs 3-1 start either. Plus, in high school volleyball, we had a big 28-6A showdown last night coming up.
Before every game, I feel like I get nervous, you know, some butterflies in my tummy, but I think it's just excitement. I want to go up against the best, so I think it's exciting.
Jeremy Sohan will definitely have some butterflies tonight before the Spurs face the Timberwolves on game day. Spurs shooting guard Devin Vassell will not face the Timberwolves tonight as he's listed as out with left knee soreness. Now, winners of 3 straight, the Spurs and T-Wolves will ball for the second time in 3 days. San Antonio won Monday night's game at the Target Center, 115-106. And in that contest, rookie Jeremy Sohan scored his NBA career-high 14 points in 23 minutes. He made 7 of 9 field goal attempts, thanks in part to several high-percentage alley-oop finishes. The rook with the colorful hair isn't surprised the Spurs are 3-1 entering tonight.
Not really. I think we came into the season with a mentality of we're gonna, you know, try our best to win every game, and it's like, you know, never stay too high, never too low. So just finding the right balance and, you know, trying to win.
Spurs will close out their 4-game road trip tonight at 7 at Minnesota, and the Timberwolves are favored by 9. The UIL high school volleyball regular season wrapped up last night, and playoff positioning was on the line in several key matchups, including a District 28-6A showdown between Brandeis and Reagan. That won 5 sets. KSAT 12's Andrew Seeley was at Northside Sports Gym last night, and he has more.
Volleyball is certainly a game of momentum after Brandeis had rallied from a 2-0 set deficit to force a 5th. Reagan returned the favor by stunning the Broncos and winning the 5th set 15-0. They take the match 3-2 and earn the 2nd seed in District 28-6A.
That was surreal. Like, it was crazy. Just a perfect set with no mistakes. Like, our serving was really tough. We just got them out of system really well, and we just took advantage of that, and we just all clicked together at the end. It prepared us a lot, especially for playoffs. It really showed us what we can do.
The win wasn't just special for playoff positioning. Senior libero Brenna Heffron notched her 1,000th career dig and got a chance to celebrate with her team after the match.
It's just been a personal goal of mine this whole season, and it just feels great to finally accomplish it this season. And being a senior, it's great.
Elsewhere in 28-6A, Johnson defeated Madison in a winner-go-home game, 3-1. Thanks to a season sweep of the Mavericks, the Jaguars secured the 4th and final playoff berth. And in District 27-5A, MacArthur defeated Highlands 3-1 in their regular season finale. The victory means the Brahmas will be the 2nd seed with a 14-2 district record, and the Owls will enter the playoffs as the 3rd seed. You can catch more highlights from all these matches right now on the BGC page at KSAT.com. For KSAT 12 Sports, I'm Andrew Seeley.
Thank you, Andrew. And how about that? Playoff intensity to close out the regular season.
That's good stuff right there. Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
Speaking of good stuff,
Oh, I knew it. I knew they were going to have a costume on.
Of course.
Y'all look great.
Okay, and we are from what movie?
Wizard of Oz.
No, Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
The Chocolate Factory.
Because we're talking candy today.
Yes,
What
it's
do you
all
do?
things candy.
Yeah. You got this bowl of candy.
Yep.
You don't just want to sit there and eat one.
All
but
that
you do.
candy from Halloween. So we've got some easy ways to whip up tasty treats with your leftover candy. Stephanie Pena-Frost from Princess and the Monkey Home Decor is here, and you've got kind of one thing to keep in mind when you do that.
So a really good tip is to kind of break the sweetness of the candy by mixing it with something salty like popcorn or pretzel chips.
Okay, and what are we making right here?
So we're gonna do some nice, like a popcorn mix with the candy and some chocolate, and then the other one is candy nachos.
Oh, candy nachos.
What is your favorite candy?
Favorite
when you raid your
Halloween
kids'
candy.
Halloween bag,
What do you steal?
go for? When they go to sleep, we all do it.
Absolutely.
We know that, admit it. So,
All right.
Jen's going to take us to a local bakery recently opened, and they have got some really good Halloween treats. Also, of course, this weekend is Muertos Fest.
Yes, and we're going to tell you all about that event and introduce you to a first-time altar builder.
Yep, and Zoomagination is, yes, of course, Robert Trejo brought a sloth with him. We're going to tell you all about that, where you can see them.
And we'll talk about the Oompa Loompa in the room.
Yes,
coming
indeed.
up.
And I've got the golden ticket.
Of course you do.
Uh-huh.
Tell him, Willie.
Because I'm Willie.
Hello, everyone. These are your top headlines for Cheddar News. 5 people were rescued Monday night, that after being stranded 200 feet underground at Grand Canyon Caverns in Arizona. That's when the tourist attraction's only elevator broke down. The group descended 21 stories in the elevator Sunday for a tour of the caverns about 100 miles west of Flagstaff. Meanwhile, the Postal Service is honoring the late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That is an icon of American culture with a new stamp in the new year. The design is based on a portrait based on a photo of Ginsburg in a black robe with a white collar, which became her trademark. Now, Ginsburg died in 2020 at the age of 87. And Virgin Australia Airlines just launched the Middle Seat Lottery. This is a special raffle with prizes worth about $145,000, and it's open to those who sit in the middle seat voluntarily or involuntarily during a flight. Now, every week from now through April, a different prize will be awarded to the winner of a drawing. And that's your Cheddar News Update. I'm Baker Machado, coming to you from Cheddar Studios in Lower Manhattan.
Beautiful weather today and tomorrow. We'll see clouds increase tomorrow ahead of a cold front, which is going to be moving through Friday morning. That's when we'll have a broken line of storms moving through. Coverage will be about 60%. We'll be watching that carefully. It could impact the morning commute. Then behind that front, it's going to be windy both on Friday and Saturday. We'll have chilly mornings and comfortable afternoons over Halloween weekend. And for Halloween itself, it'll be pleasantly comfortable at 80 for the high on Monday and pretty nice for trick-or-treaters. We're talking low humidity and temperatures in the 70s Monday evening.
Thank you, Sarah. I've been schooled about Willy Wonka.
I can see it.
Yeah.
How do you spell? Is it Oompa Loompa? How do you spell that?
I don't know.
O-O-M-P-A. Loompa. L-O-O-M-P.
Oompa Loompa.
Sarah is officially the expert.
She probably has the golden ticket. Is SA Live? Very good.
Very nice.
SA Live starts right
now.
Celebrate San Antonio. Coming to you live from historic Market Square. This is SA Live.
Oh, hello and happy Wednesday. That's right. We're just hanging out, having a good time. Yes, wait until you meet Snooze the Sloth coming up a little later. Oh, good afternoon. I'm Fiona Goristiza.
There is the golden ticket for you, Sarah Spivey. Yes. Going to have you on my spelling bee team next time around. I'm like Osterhage, and
Are you?
I think so. Look who's talking.
Let's address the Oompa Loompa in the room, shall we? Yes. Happy Halloween
Good
week,
afternoon,
everybody.
Fiona. I'm addressing the Oompa Loompa in the room, so.
All right. Well, we are talking candy, of course, on today's show, and that got us thinking, what is your favorite Halloween candy? I'd have to go with Rolos or Twix.
Twix. Oh, and there's still some left. I've been eating them all morning since
Oh, I
Stephanie
was
got here.
wondering where they went. Okay, well, that makes sense. Okay.
Hey,
so
I'm the candy man. I get to eat them.
That is true. Merely your assistant. All right, so let us know at SA Live KSAT on Facebook and Twitter. We don't have, it's only an hour show.
Okay.
Let us know at SA Live KSAT on Facebook and Twitter, and we'll air some of those answers a little later in the show.
Needless to say, Halloween is a mere few days away, and if you're wondering if you should indulge in all those sweets, you candy.
That's funny every time. You candy. Okay, Stephanie Pena-Frost, owner of Princess and the Monkey Home Decor, is here to show some fun things to do with all that candy and test our sweet tooth. We apologize. His hat might be too tight. My wig also. So
that's okay. That's and too much sugar. Way too much sugar for y'all today.
Yes, because I have been eating all the Twix. So.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to do a couple of really fun things. One thing I like to do is take popcorn. Well, first of all, we sometimes have leftover candy, and when we do, it's fun to mix it with something salty. Kind of breaks up the candy.
But you said this is a rarity in your house that you have.
It's a rarity unless I hide it in the freezer. So I chopped up some candy, and then you put it into some pre-made popcorn, and then you add some of the melted chocolate too. I like to use white chocolate, but if you like dark chocolate, you can do dark chocolate as well. And then you mix it up, and you can put this in a bowl and just let it sit on the counter, and just kind of like go by and pick it up and eat it as you like. And it's kind of a fun little thing to do.
That's always dangerous when you have something sitting out like that and you just start grabbing it because you don't know how much.
Exactly. I mean, and you see it done at Christmas time. Well, this is a fun way to do it for the fall with the leftover candies as well.
And if you do all the orange in there, it's a great little fall color. For,
yes, because this is a good way to trick your kids into eating the candies that they didn't want to eat. Because when you mix it, they don't know what they're getting. So it's a perfect little way to do that.
Okay.
Yes.
And any finishing touches on this one, or is it good to go?
That one, you can just leave it like that, good to go. If you wanted to add some nuts to it for something salty, you can as well. But for the most part, it's perfect the way it is.
Almost like a candy trail mix.
Exactly. And then the next thing we're going to do, who doesn't love nachos? Well, why not make some sweet nachos with your candy, with your leftover candy? I get these really thin pretzel chips, which are great because they act like regular chips. You could also use apples if you wanted to try something a little bit healthy. So then you just layer it like you would your nachos. So the candy acts as the beans or the meats in it. So you just layer that, and then you can add the chocolate or the cajeta that I have, and kind of put that on it, and then add the marshmallow fluff as the sour cream that goes on top. It's a trick. It is a very big trick. There you go.
You need to get on the candy floor a little more often. There.
Yes.
I know, I am here, so.
It kind of makes it a fun, messy mess on there. I figured that might be a little easier than having y'all scoop it out, but it's not. But then you just eat it off the fork like that.
Oh, this is
there you go.
I want it.
What every kid has wanted to do, and then put a little bit of.
Yes, I feel like I need to apologize to everybody later for the sugar rush that y'all are going to be under, but it's okay. So that's kind of a fun, messy, and the kids can have fun doing it because it is a big mess. So okay, now
and you top it off
with some Jimmy's and some nuts.
There we go. Okay. Now we have we're going to test our sweet tooth.
We're going to test your sweet tooth now. So this is a big fun test. I have 6 different mystery candies here and these little eggs. I need for y'all to put your glasses on.
Of course. We are in our isolation booths.
Yes. Yes, can't see anything. All right.
Wow,
there's your one right there.
This is one?
Yes,
this way?
and Mike has his one.
Okay.
So you're going to open it up and take the candy out from inside of it.
Milk dud.
Wait, did you already go?
Milk dud?
I don't know. Both of y'all have to.
Milk dud.
Milk dud.
Yes. Yay.
I didn't know when we were answering, so.
Nope. Okay.
Next.
That's the next one. That's 2.
Rolo.
Oh, Rolo. I can tell that I'm feeling it.
I'm feeling it. Okay.
You're going fast.
Next one, 3.
Are you swallowing like all the candy
I'm
already?
chewing yet.
It's a bean. It's like a jelly bean.
Boston
Jelly
baked
bean? Like a bean boozled jelly bean?
It's a bean boozled jelly bean.
A Boston baked bean.
Haven't you ever had Boston baked beans? They're really good. It's candy. Yeah, it's candy.
Oh, no.
So those actually didn't taste. Yay, y'all both got lucky on that one.
Am I on the right one?
Yeah. No, but you're fine. Here, that's yours. That's the next one.
A marshmallow.
Okay,
Chocolate
keep.
or marshmallow?
Yeah.
Marshmallow.
But there's something in the center of it.
Oh. Wally.
I can't tell. I got so much other candy in my mouth.
Yeah, I know. You're going to fast.
Those are chocolate-filled marshmallows.
Ooh, that's good.
I know.
Okay.
Next, we got a
Yeah.
Snickers.
No, you're so fast.
I know.
He just took a bite of that last one. He just took a. Wait, hold on. Oh, he has the last one. Here you go. Here's the last
This
one.
is the one we're worried about here.
That one. That's one of the ones you should definitely be.
Oh, it's like a.
Oh,
Cheeto.
it's a hot Cheeto.
Cheeto.
The Candy Man. Great ideas. And you are going to be at the Bloom Handmade Market Saturday the 29th, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the San Antonio Shrine
Auditorium.
That's got hot.
I know. It'll get you on the back end.
Okay.
San Antonio Shrine Auditorium. It's free, and of course, right after here, you're headed to the Pearl.
To the Pearl.
You can find original handmade creations from Princess and the Monkey home decor. Ooh, hot. This weekend at the Bloom Handmade Market, Saturday, October 29th from 10 a.m. to 4 at the San Antonio Shrine Auditorium.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. And
Yeah,
happy
thank you.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween to you as well.
All right, well, it's been only 3 weeks since a local baker opened up the store and the doors to her new shop. She hasn't even had the official grand opening, but she's already stocked with some Halloween goodies for you to grab.
Yes, our Jen Tobias Stresky is on the north side checking out that new bakery smell. Hey there, Jen.
Yes, 'tis the season for sweets, right? And we are at Dolce Cupcakes, and I'm so excited to be here. They haven't even had the official grand opening yet. We're getting a sneak peek, and Lauren, the owner, is joining me. Hello, thanks for having us.
How are you? Nice to have you.
I'm so happy to be here. You have such a great setup. Let's talk cupcakes first.
Okay.
What do we have here?
So here, these are going to be our Halloween. These are our spectacular cupcakes. We've got cookies and cream, a chocolate, a carrot. This is our favorite, red velvet, a vanilla, pumpkin, chocolate mummy, butter pecan, and cinnamon vanilla.
Whoa, butter pecan?
Yes.
Ooh.
So we actually take the pecans and we roast them in butter and then put them in the cake as well.
Mind blown here.
Yes.
And you said your favorite is the chocolate, right?
My favorite is the chocolate. I'm a fan of chocolate. However, again, they're all so
They're
good.
so beautiful,
Yes,
and you're
thank
going to
you.
show me. Maybe I can try to mimic some of this here. So,
we'll go ahead and start with the red velvet one. You're going to want the cream cheese icing here.
Of course, gotta have the cream cheese, right? Okay, so let's see the easiest way to do this.
Yeah, so just start like from the edge, go around the edge in a circle. There you go. Now go up. Keep going, keep going. There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. And then, of course, we have to add
the red. And I always just start from the top, and it's okay if it gets messy because it's supposed to be Halloween.
Let's see here. Oh, let's see.
That one.
And this is supposed to obviously go with the, you have your different themes for the season.
Yes. Yeah, that's not working. They're not
Of course, on live television, this will happen. But okay, we'll go ahead and add our little eyeball on top here. And everything here is made from scratch, right?
It is, yes. We do make all of our cakes and frosting from scratch as well. And then if you want to maybe do mummy. Okay, so the mummy ones are kind of fun. You can take another eyeball.
Okay. The chocolate, one of your favorites.
Yes.
And how did you get started with this business?
I actually started as a creative outlet when I was a stay-at-home mom for 2 years, and then found it as a passion for me and turned it into a career. And we started doing pop-up markets and different events around the city and surrounding areas, and it landed us here, and we're so excited to be here.
Yeah, you had told me earlier about the pop-ups you would do. And you can do dessert bars for people.
We can do dessert bars for different events, weddings, birthdays, anniversaries, anything you celebrate, we can do a dessert bar for.
Okay, this is fun. I love the way this comes out. That makes it easy. Look at my little mummy there. Okay, he's looking at you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what I really think is adorable is these little loaves that you have. And you're gonna show me how you do your technique. I'll hold your mic for you.
So these are brand new on our menu. We just actually launched them yesterday. So I'm really excited about them.
Oh, just yesterday?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So it's really simple. So we'll go ahead and do the purple and orange one. Just take it and you just kind of swirl it on there a little bit.
I love the mini version of things, you know?
Yes.
Makes you feel a little bit
And this
not
is
as
like
guilty.
so much fun for kids because it's not a whole bunch of cake. You're not buying a huge cake, but it is a lot of fun. Just add a little
Oh, I see how you did that. And then you can add some fun sprinkles. And perfect. Now, while you're finishing that, we must move on here to the cookie dough bar because we want to make sure we get everything in, right? There's so much to cover.
I know.
Okay, so let's talk about the flavors you have.
Okay, so this is my favorite part of our dessert bar. So we've got a snickerdoodle, a mint chip. That's our monster, which is a peanut butter cookie mixed with M&Ms and chocolate chip. We have a sugar unicorn, and then we have a chocolate chip.
Wow, and obviously all the toppings, right?
We have all the toppings, and it'll come in a cup like you see here, and then we can actually put it in a cone of different flavors. We have a chocolate cone, a pink vanilla, and a birthday cone as well.
Okay, I'm going to add some toppings here. Now let's talk about the Halloween box. You have like a goodie box, right? That people can...
So for Halloween, of course you can come into our shop, pick up whatever you need, but we do have a special right now for our Halloween treat box. It's going to come with 3 of our Cakesicles. It's going to come with 6 of our cupcakes and then 6 of our chocolate-covered Oreos.
Aren't those cute? Look at those. Okay, and then they also do custom chocolate bars, and they also do, I have to show this, I know we're running out of time, but look at these. They're cake push pops.
Push pops, right.
Push pops. Okay. Wow. These are pretty popular.
Yeah, if you just pop the lid off.
Bam.
And then you just push them up like
Look at that. All right. Lots of goodies. The official grand opening is?
November 11th through the 12th. Lots of prizes, lots of fun. Come out and see us.
And if you mention SA Live, you can get 20% off your holiday orders. Mike, Fiona, I'm going to toss it back to you. Which one should I taste? I'm going to let you guys pick.
All of them?
Chocolate or red velvet?
Both.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
One bite of each.
I knew you would say that.
It's Halloween.
Yes, one bite of each. Okay. I'll work on all of this, guys. Send it back to you.
Who needs
Here we
to
go.
trick or treat when you have all of those, the cupcakes and everything like that, and the cake boxes, and the,
All right, still ahead, we're going to show you a brand new place to get fit, what makes this gym different, and how you can join for just a few bucks.
But first, who needs monsters when these critters can make you scream? How you can face your fears and go one-on-one with these animals and why they aren't so spooky once you get to know them. That's next on SA Live.